A busy street in New York City, fast-paced action with people hustling to work, traffic moving, and the camera zooming in on a person sitting on a bench looking lost in thought. The person seems overwhelmed, surrounded by noise but detached from it. The text 70% of Americans struggle with procrastination appears on the screen. Have you ever found yourself sitting there, staring at your phone or your laptop, knowing you have a mountain of tasks waiting to be done but still unable to take action? You're not alone. Studies show that 70% of Americans struggle with procrastination. But here's the truth. It's not about the lack of time. It's about those nagging, lazy thoughts that hold you back from taking that first step. The question is, how do you kill those lazy thoughts once and for all? Today, we're diving into the reasons behind this behavior and how to break free from the cycle. If you're tired of sitting on the sidelines of your own life, it's time to take control. Let's start by understanding why we feel so lazy, even when we know we should be doing something productive. It all starts in the mind. The brain is wired to seek comfort. Evolutionarily speaking, our ancestors had to conserve energy to survive. Our minds are hardwired to avoid stress and discomfort. That's why we procrastinate. When a task feels difficult or stressful, the mind immediately suggests the easy way out. Stay comfortable, delay the hard stuff. But what we often forget is that this easy choice causes us more stress in the long run. Example, think about the last time you put off doing a big task. You probably told yourself you'd start tomorrow, or you needed a little more time to gather your thoughts. But what happened the next day? You still found yourself delaying, feeling guilty, and adding more mental weight. The lazy thoughts creep in and they compound the issue, making it harder to begin. So how do we break this cycle? The answer lies in something simple yet powerful: mindset. Take Elon Musk, for example. Despite facing huge challenges, failed rockets, financial struggles, Musk's mindset was always focused on moving forward. He didn't let laziness, fear, or distractions define his journey. In fact, he used his setbacks as motivation to push through. Mindset shift. Instead of focusing on how difficult a task is, change your perspective. Instead of thinking, I have to do this, you start telling yourself, I get to do this. It's about framing the situation as an opportunity rather than a burden. This small mental shift can eliminate the resistance that fuels lazy thoughts. The next step in killing lazy thoughts is breaking big tasks into smaller, manageable steps. This is what productivity experts call tiny habits. Let's say you're facing a huge project, like writing a report or preparing for an exam. The task can feel overwhelming, but if you break it down into smaller chunks, suddenly it becomes less intimidating. Instead of thinking, I have to write a 20-page report, think, I'll start by writing the introduction. Focus on one tiny part of the task at a time. Example, consider a scenario like working out. You might think, I'm too tired to go to the gym today, but instead of dismissing the idea altogether, tell yourself, I'll just go for 10 minutes. I can do that. Often, once you begin, the momentum takes over and you end up staying longer than you initially planned. The key is to make starting as easy as possible. The first step is the hardest, but once you take it, you'll be amazed at how quickly you build momentum. Here's a simple technique that has helped thousands break through their laziness. The 5-minute rule. When you find yourself avoiding a task, commit to doing it for just 5 minutes. This rule works because it's so easy to commit to a short time. You won't feel overwhelmed by the idea of dedicating hours to something. You only need to give it 5 minutes. Example, you're avoiding that important email because it feels too long or complicated. Instead of thinking about all the time it will take, promise yourself you'll just draft the first paragraph. 5 minutes in, you'll likely find yourself finishing the entire email. This works for more than just work. Tasks. It's great for habits like reading, exercising, or even cleaning. Once you start, the inertia fades and the task becomes easier to continue. Another powerful tool to kill lazy thoughts is your environment. A messy, cluttered workspace can create mental chaos, making it harder to concentrate and get things done. Studies show that the environment plays a huge role in our productivity. If you're surrounded by distractions like your phone, a noisy room, or a messy desk, your brain constantly switches focus. This not only makes you feel lazy, but also makes tasks seem more complicated than they actually are. Solution: set yourself up for success by decluttering your environment. Create a designated workspace free from distractions. Keep your phone out of reach while working and limit your exposure to non-work related content. This creates a mental space that signals to your brain it's time to work. It's also important to be kind to yourself during this process. Overcoming lazy thoughts doesn't mean beating yourself up for every moment of procrastination. In fact, harsh self-criticism can make things worse. Instead, embrace self-compassion. Example, let's say you're on a roll with your work and then you get distracted for 30 minutes. Instead of spiraling into guilt, remind yourself that setbacks are natural. You can acknowledge the delay and then refocus on the next task. Being compassionate with yourself helps eliminate negative emotions that contribute to procrastination, and it frees you to act more decisively. Killing lazy thoughts isn't about magic or willpower alone. It's about changing how you approach challenges, breaking tasks into smaller, actionable steps, and creating an environment that supports your goals. By shifting your mindset, building momentum with small actions, and being kind to yourself, you can finally overcome those lazy thoughts and take control of your day. Take a moment right now. Identify one thing you've been procrastinating on. Break it into smaller tasks and take that first step. It's time to stop letting lazy thoughts control your life.